Hi everybody, Jill here. Welcome to my channel. You've landed on Jill and Beauty Therapy. I am indeed Jill, and we are going to have a wig chat today. We are taking a look at a gorgeous brand spanking new wig here by Belle Tress. Know that this is in the gorgeous, really stunning color of brown sugar, sweet cream. So let's take a look at Ground Theory by Belle Tress. Before we go any further and learn a little more about this gorgeous style, I hope you'll consider subscribing if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. Definitely comment down below because I read every single one. I'd love to know you're out there. And hit that notification bell because you know it's going to notify you the very second I upload something new. Thank you. So I still have that crisscross part. It looks like it's going to be a stubborn one, but I'm going to try my best. We do have a left side monofilament part that goes right into a lace front. This lace front stops right here on both sides. Anyway, let me deal with this first because it just really does drive me nuts. And I really know sometimes they can be really, really in there. Okay, I think we got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very dense. You know, that's something that I think Belle Tress can get better on, and that is we don't need all this density up in here. If we had less density, you know, we would have a much better experience with that monofilament that we're paying for. That is a feature that, you know, definitely brings the price up a bit. The mono parts aren't as expensive, say, as a full crown, but nonetheless, if I part it there, you know, I do want to see less density so it gives me that scalp-like parting experience. So I would love it for one because I'm enjoying these Belle Tress wigs a lot. And it isn't enough for me not to wear them, but boy, if it were, you know, less dense and I was having a better experience there, wow, it would be hitting lots of home runs, these styles. So this style, because if you are used to Belle Tress and you know how we have this shattered, very light, kind of like those two styles that we took a look at last week in the Belle Tress line, we looked at Lemonade and City Roast, adorable. That is a very different experience than what you're going to be having with something like this. So the denier is definitely larger in this style. Each little fiber is just a little bigger. And you have more hair in general. There's a lot of hair in this. It is, you know, somebody who just has a good head of hair. They've got a lot of hair. So it feels, I can feel it too. I will put the specs down below in the description box so you can see how much it weighs, the lengths, and everything. And before I try to figure out, you know, kind of what I can do to make this a wig that I reach for and enjoy wearing, let me do the spin so you can see what this looks like from all sides. So let's get that done. Okay, this color, first of all, is to me gorgeous. I mean, I also have another wig chat coming at you that will showcase this color as well. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful brunette It's, I would say, definitely neutral. It's not super warm and it's not super ashy. It's this nice middle ground. I think it's going to really be pretty with all sorts of complexions, whether, you know, you are on the warm side or you tend to be on the cool side. I think with a little tweak of your makeup, even in your clothes, it's going to just kind of morph into what you want to do that day. It is a really pretty, I think, neutral brown with gorgeous, there is highlights. I don't want you to think there's not. Just so realistic. This color is, I don't want to throw that out, but there are colors that I've seen on pieces that aren't just, they're not believable. You know what I mean? You know, certain lines, I think, just sort of miss it a little bit. Whereas this is, you know, I see somebody having this sort of brown and then they go to the salon and pay a fortune to get some highlights and lowlights probably put in to achieve this beautiful color. When we look at the lace front, you're gonna see those knots a little more than you would with those very fine fibers. But it's still very well done, and something that I've gotten in the habit of doing with all my wigs, no matter what, is I think it's so beneficial to do some gentle swirls right along that hairline and go in different directions right along that lace, just really carefully. You don't have to get really ridiculous with it. And what that does is it flattens out those knots, sends them in different directions, and it just gives a more believable hairline there where the lace front is, especially a style like this, where you're probably going to have it kind of up and away over time, because I do it every time I put my wigs on, no matter what wig it is. It really is amazing how it even sort of, because some of those fibers sometimes will flatten right down. It almost looks like baby hair, and it just really gives a beautiful natural look. So if you get in the habit of doing that, I think you're going to see that you're going to be liking the look of the lace fronts in some of those wigs where at the moment, maybe because they're a little darker, you're feeling a little insecure about it. That is so simple, and it does a really, really good job at making something that's like not this very perfect look into just breaking that up, laying some down. It really does a great job. So it's going to take, you know, more than one time, but even doing just that bit, pressing it down, that helps a lot. So I do pull out my own hair. However, this is a very straight, sleek style. So even though my hair is nowhere near the length of this, I would, before I even put the wig on, I would straighten this. Just take a quick, you know, little straightener and just go whoop, and just straighten that out so it just sort of lays against the fibers of the wig and it becomes undetectable. And then when I want to put my hair back, you know, you see sort of my hairline, which brings me to this, because I would definitely be tucking this wig on one side. And I'm going to show you a little trick that's so simple. You're going to think it's just, the detail is just unnecessary, but I actually think it's the little tiny things that make big, impactful differences. And that goes for makeup and everything. So I'm going to show you that here in a little bit, because I've been doing it, and it I think, is, again, it's a little thing, but for me, it just ups my confidence level. So I get this off Amazon. I believe I have put a link into my Amazon favorites shop under wigs or wig accessories or something of that nature. This is quite a bit less expensive than many others. It works great. I've never had any desire to try another brand. It's waterproof, sweat-proof, and I get it in dark brown. It seems to work with pretty much, you know, all of my rooted wigs, which are all of my wigs. This is my own hair. It's very fine, and literally I don't pull out much at all, but my hairline comes out all the way up here, and I do have the tiniest little baby hairs. So I have very very mousy brown, a lot of whites coming in there. So because I know I'm going to be tucking this wig, I am going to just kind of, doll this up just to give me a little more confidence. So I am going to kind of pull the wig back a bit, and I'm going to put it right on my skin, right over the hair itself. It comes with this stippling brush here, and bring it out, kind of hold my actual hair, get it down to the skin, and then over the hair itself. And then I'm going to take it, it's a root powder, so it covers gray right over the top of my actual hair there. But mainly, I'm really interested in getting it down to the skin, kind of highlighting the hair that is actually there. Once I get it on, then I take a finger and then I just blur kind of the edges, softening it up. Then what I've been doing is I've been taking my little spoolie here. This is what I run my eyebrows through. And I just kind of do this. It gets those little tiny baby hairs off of my skin, off of the scalp there, because they're so fine. So I just kind of do this. It also helps to soften up that fill-in powder there as well. And that's just the little something that just kind of gets them off. You can add a little hairspray, and it's been just another little thing that I do. It takes seconds, literally seconds. And then the fill-in powder itself is a bit grainy, so it gives the illusion that those little baby hairs are a little bigger than what they are. That's why, another reason why I don't like using eyeshadow to do this. Sorry, I got one of these right tickling me. Eyeshadow won't last as long. It also has a tendency of not really coating the hair that well. And it isn't waterproof. It isn't sweat proof. So I don't go that route. I want to use something like this that's made for this. And it also, again, it's a little grainy, so it does sort of coat those little hairs a bit. Now when I tuck, that looks pretty. You also have to remember this. You don't have to do much to fool someone's brain. They're putting the pieces together just in a split second. And unless something is sort of off, it'll make them kind of go, oh, something's weird. I mean, they probably won't even actually say those words in their head, but something is off. And that might cause them to sort of start looking a little further if, they so choose. But when you do things like this, it just eliminates all of that. It's just the littlest things, making sure that your wig is sitting properly. Don't have it too far down. That's another thing that's like, ooh, something's not right. Open up your face, and make sure that it's sitting where it should. Don't put it too far back. Sometimes I do that. And again, it's one of those things, especially profile view. It's like something is off. Just got to make sure that you get it right where it should be. And if you have a sort of tall forehead and you've lost sight of where your hairline should be or where it will look the best, you can do Patti's 4-finger, and that's like right at the brows, 4 fingers. That's where your wig should be. There are a lot of people who don't have any hair and they have no guidelines, really. If you have a shorter forehead and there's no way you can do 4 fingers, it's okay. It's okay because it all works for your facial features, I think before I go in with hairspray, I'm going to use this. This is the Refresh number 4 by John Renault. This is a pick-me-up dry shampoo. It's volumizing. I don't know. I'm going to just see if this does anything. I also have the Shape by Hair You Wear. This is a sort of pump. It's a little wet, a hairspray. But sometimes if you combine dry shampoo with a hairspray, they both work so much better. So I'm gonna treat this. Now, I don't particularly think that this is too shiny. I think this doesn't bother me, and I'm pretty, picky about that. But I definitely don't think it is. So that wouldn't be the reason I am wanting to use this. I just want to see if texturally, if this will do anything. So. I'm going to go in with this. This is that Shape Hairspray. I'm doing this really more to get the flyaways out of my face. If I can't contain that, I will not reach for this wig ever. Because not only, are we having a style that is made to kind of, drop in. So that is something that's an automatic thing. I just have to do something about those little flyaways. Even though this is, this is a sleek style, I still want to see some texture there, I don't want all the fibers to just be really slick up against themselves. You might. This is just me. I'm just kind of showing you the things that I know I would be troubleshooting just so I feel really good about wearing this. Belle Tress runs larger than your average size in many other brands. So just be aware of that. I have an average petite head, and Belle Tress definitely runs much larger for me. It's their average. This is an average in their line, but it definitely does. I'm kind of fighting the ear tabs a bit because these ear tabs come down all the way to here on me. These are supposed to be temple tabs, so technically it should stop right about here. It's all the way here. Ooh, excuse me, I just sneezed twice. I can never sneeze just once. So that ear tab is down quite a way. And now, I'm getting great coverage. I'm even getting really good coverage here in front. But yeah, that ear tab is stopping right there. That's quite low. So even when I'm trying to tuck it, that ear tab is right here and it wants to kind of get in my way. I also wear glasses, of which I don't have in here, so, I just want you to be aware if you also tend to be more of an average petite. I can still wear these wigs, and I do. They're not that big to where they're just impossible. But these are the things that I'm noticing. It's like, yeah, this is definitely larger than any average that I've seen, in another line. Wearing this, very classic, just sleek, very, very high society kind of, I don't know, I feel very bougie in this. Gorgeous. I think the highlights that we're seeing right through here is just so pretty. Here we have Ground Theory in the color Brown Sugar Sweet Cream by Belle Tress. I hope you liked this. I hope you found it helpful. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye-bye.